Picture a drag strip in 1991. In one lane, a Ferrari, $122,000 of Italian exotic, the pride of Maranello. In the other lane, right beside it, a small black pickup truck, a GMC, from the company that builds work trucks and delivery vans. The light turns green, and in the time it takes to read this sentence, the truck is gone, and the Ferrari is staring at its taillights. This wasn't a backyard bet. It happened in the pages of one of America's biggest car magazines, and it sent a shockwave through the entire car world. A work truck brand had just humiliated a Ferrari. This is the story of the GMC Syclone. For 1 year, the fastest truck on planet Earth. It beat a Ferrari, it couldn't haul a load of firewood, and almost as fast as it appeared, it vanished. To understand how insane this is, you have to understand what GMC was in the 1980s. GMC was the sensible one, Chevrolet's quieter sibling. They built trucks for contractors, farmers, and fleets. Dependable, boring, nobody associated the letters GMC with speed. But somewhere inside General Motors in the late 80s, a few engineers had an idea that sounded ridiculous on paper. Take a small, cheap, compact pickup and turn it into something that could run with sports cars. Their first experiment used the turbocharged V6 out of the Buick Grand National, already a legend for embarrassing muscle cars. They dropped it into a small Chevy pickup and watched it fly. But when they shopped the idea around, Chevrolet passed on it. GMC didn't. The boring truck brand looked at this hot rod nobody wanted and said yes. To actually build it, they handed the project to a specialty outfit called PAS, Production Automotive Services, the same shop that had built the Pontiac Turbo Trans Am. And what they created broke every rule of what a pickup was supposed to be. They called it the Cyclone, spelled with an S. And under that ordinary-looking body was anything but ordinary. It started as a GMC Sonoma, a basic compact pickup with a mild 160 horsepower V6, perfectly forgettable. Then PAS went to work. They bolted a turbocharger and an intercooler onto that V6, and the numbers exploded from 160 horsepower to 280, with 350 pound-feet of torque, nearly double the power. In a truck that small and that light, that was violent. But here's the part that made it a giant killer. Instead of sending all that power to the rear wheels like every other muscle truck, GMC gave it all-wheel drive, splitting the power 35% front, 65% rear. That meant when you stood on it, all four tires clawed for grip. No wheel spin, no drama, just launch. It was also the first production truck ever to get four-wheel anti-lock brakes, so it could stop as hard as it went. It came exactly one way, blacked out, with red Cyclone badges and nothing else. One deliciously weird detail: to save money, GMC borrowed the gauge cluster from the Pontiac Sunbird, a car they just discontinued, a world-beating performance truck with economy car gauges. The result? 0 to 60 in the low 5s. GMC claimed as quick as 4.6, the quarter mile in the 13s. In 1991, it was the fastest production pickup truck in the entire world. And to prove it, a magazine decided to line it up against the last car anyone would expect. September 1991. Car and Driver magazine set up a drag race that people still talk about today. In one corner, the little black GMC Syclone. In the other, a Ferrari 348 TS, a 300 horsepower V8 supercar from Italy, Targa top, the works. And look at the price tags. The Ferrari cost $122,000. The Cyclone cost about $26,000, a $96,000 gap between them. The magazine literally titled the article, "The $96,000 Sting, Green Light." And this is where the all-wheel drive changed everything. The Ferrari, sending all its power to the rear wheels, spun and squirmed off the line. The Cyclone just hooked up and launched, jumping nearly 2 full car lengths ahead before the Ferrari even found traction. Down the strip, the Ferrari clawed the gap back. It was actually moving faster than the truck by the end, but it had run out of road. The Cyclone crossed the quarter-mile line in 14.1 seconds. The Ferrari, 4/10 of a second behind at 14.5. The pickup won. And then, just to rub it in, the Cyclone outbraked the Ferrari too, stopping from 70 miles an hour 4 feet shorter. Now, to be fair, give them a longer track and the Ferrari wins easily. It topped out at 166 miles an hour, the truck at 126. But that wasn't the point. The point was that a $26,000 GMC work truck had just beaten a Ferrari in print for everyone to see. Car and Driver had actually done this once before. Back in 1964, they'd pitted a Pontiac against a Ferrari and enraged Enzo himself. History was repeating, and America ate it up. But the truck that beat a Ferrari had a secret weakness, and it's kind of hilarious. The Cyclone was a truck. It had a bed, it had a tailgate, it looked for all the world like something you could work out of. You couldn't, because everything that made it fast made it useless as an actual truck. That trick all-wheel drive system and the performance suspension left almost no room for cargo. Its payload rating was just 500 pounds. Its towing capacity, 2,000 pounds. To put that in perspective, a Toyota Camry, a family sedan, could tow the exact same weight. The bed was basically for decoration. GMC even warned owners not to really load it up. So the Cyclone wasn't really a truck at all. It was a supercar killer wearing a truck costume. And as cool as that was, it turned out almost nobody actually wanted to buy one. Here's the part the legend leaves out. For all the fame, the Cyclone was a flop. GMC built just 2,995 of them for a single model year and then pulled the plug. Think about it from a buyer's chair. It cost as much as a much nicer, more usable vehicle, and it couldn't do the one thing you buy a truck for. Fast, yes, but a hard sell. They struggled to move them so badly that GMC shipped over 100 of them to Saudi Arabia to sell overseas. Dozens came back unsold. In the end, GMC set up an internal lottery so its own employees could buy the leftovers for $12,500 each, less than half the sticker price. And in the cruelest footnote of all, in 2009, one of these now collectible trucks was fed into a government scrappage program, cash for clunkers, and destroyed for a rebate. Gone forever. The fastest truck in the world was over almost before it began. But GMC wasn't quite finished being crazy. For 1992, GMC took the exact same turbocharged all-wheel drive drivetrain and dropped it into an SUV. The GMC Jimmy became the GMC Typhoon. Same giant killing speed, but now with a back seat and a roof, something you could almost use every day. It was the sleeper of sleepers, a boxy little family SUV that could still embarrass sports cars at a stoplight. GMC built just under 5,000 of those over 2 years, and then that died too. And here's the thing that stings the most looking back. GMC had invented the modern performance truck. The Ford Lightning didn't show up until 1993. The truly insane stuff, 700 horsepower pickups, high-performance SUVs from Ferrari and Lamborghini, was still decades away. GMC got there first, beat a Ferrari to prove it, and then walked away from the whole idea. The Cyclone was too weird, too impractical, and too far ahead of its time. It was a truck that couldn't truck, sold to a public that didn't get it yet, but the ones that survived are having the last laugh. Clean examples now sell for 3 and 4 times what they cost new. One low-mileage truck went for $90,000 at auction. The little black pickup the world wasn't ready for has become one of the most sought-after trucks ever made. GMC built the future, used it to humiliate a Ferrari, and then let it slip away. Just another piece of forgotten American iron. If you liked this one, the video on screen now is another American machine that had no business being as wild as it was. Thanks for watching.